Siemanko, ja jestem Mordziaty, witam was w kolejnym materiale z serii Przysiądźmy do Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Moi drodzy, w poprzednim odcinku uwolniliśmy ptaszka i tego akurat wam nie pokazałem niestety. Podczas eskortowania ptaszka spotkaliśmy Radzika, Hanusza i Bogutę z jakimś tam wojskiem. Okazało się, że wyruszyli tutaj do Kuttenberga, żeby nas uwolnić, żeby nam pomóc. No ale Henryk uratował ptaszka i tego tam, jakiegoś tam gościa. No i pogadaliśmy trochę, ptaszek pojechał z nimi, a ja dostałem misję od mojego tatuśka, że mam pójść na zebranie Zygmunta, Bergowa i tak dalej, na tą naradę i ich zinfiltrować. Tak więc wpierw musimy udać się do naszego gościa, którym jest Waszek, którego obnażyliśmy jego spisek przeciwko Zygmundowi, że kradł srebro.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses.
Kurde, znowu muszę się umyć.
I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the city council assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
No chciałem zobaczyć króla, no.
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king.
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel?
Dokładnie.
If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
No tak, bo ci zetnął głowę, gościu.
I must have misheard you. Our business will be over when I say it is, not before. So pull your head out your ass and see to getting me into that assembly.
All right, Jesus. No need to lose your temper. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Gdzie go znajdę?
The cook's boy.
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
Dobra, jak się nazywa i idziemy?
Franter's his name.
Franek, dobra.
To cool down. He's an idler. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter, otherwise you won't.
No, kurde, muszę o wszystko się zapytać.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't
Dobra,
Go in then.
just
przekonamy go. Dobra, przydałoby się jeszcze umyć, bo ciuchy i tak zdejmę, ale buźkę bym umył. O! No i ślicznie, jestem czyściutki. Chodźmy teraz do naszego Franka. Dobra, jesteśmy na rynku. Chodźmy może najpierw do tego chłopaczka. Może on nam powie, u którego krawca ma ten ciuch. Franek, siemasz.
God bless you, sir.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the city council assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Które by wybrać? Przejmę twoją robotę? Przejmę twoją
I
robotę.
took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Last chance.
Co by tu wybrać? Dobra.
I just have to get
Wszystko mam po 30. To było łatwiejsze.
About a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Damy radę.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. I didn't get round to picking it up, so go and see Schneider in the market.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Take care.
Dobra, czyli teraz... Kurde, myślałem, że nam
Got lots.
powie,
As well
do kogo. Może on.
as the best.
To chyba musi być on.
What will it be, sir?
O, no właśnie.
I hear one Franta Cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
Aye, the finest. I spent the best part of 2 weeks working on them, and damn near left my fingers on them as buttons. But it was worth it. With clothes like that, he wouldn't be ashamed to stand before the king himself.
As it happens, you hit the nail on the head. Franta asked me to pick up those clothes for him.
Really?
He gave me a certificate. See? It's got his name on it.
I was hoping he'd try them on one last time before final adjustment.
Czapka, spodnie i kaftan. Dobra. Czas się szybko przebrać. Kurde, nie ten guzik. Zmienimy sobie... O. Tutaj. Zbroja. Czapka królewskiego pacholika. Kaftan. I spodnie. Jest. No buty jakieś mam. Okej, chyba jest w porządku. A co ja tu jeszcze mam na sobie? Co to jest? Szlachecka przeszawica. Zdejmujemy. Dobra, pasek i sakiewka chyba mi nie zaszkodzą. Dobra, teraz do Majordomusa i jesteśmy w domu, no. To ty? Majordom, tak.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming. What's wrong with him?
Może jest chory,
Poisoned.
po prostu.
Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you.
Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good.
It's a good thing you've got no steel on you.
You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Dobra,
I'll happily
niech nam powie, żebyśmy się nie dali wykryć.
foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way.
Okej,
Short,
stać w
behave
kącie.
as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them white Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all.
Adamowi z Zarzeca nie polewać.
Disrupts and makes trouble, so the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that.
Dobra,
to
czyli
happen in
Adaś nie
the
pije.
presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Najważniejsza rzecz? Może nie pomylić trunków?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly,
A no, nie
not
przeszkadzać.
disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss, and in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Huh?
No akurat ślepy i głuchy nie mogę być.
Keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter after all, not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it,
Ale zaszczyt.
right?
I
Dobra.
know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Nic nie będę ściągał z siebie. Jeszcze mi ukradną. Dobra, jesteśmy.
There are the pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning
Hey, wait,
from
pour
it.
me some Tokai.
Should the town reserve have
Który to był?
than any Räuber in the domain?
Czerwone?
Eldris? I'm saying that the bandits
Toka?
freed him
Tokaj to białe
from
chyba,
the
nie?
devil. Use that thing.
Kto chciał?
That Hackenbücher.
Are you deaf or something? Why?
Hand cannon.
White.
Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
Może ten
What
chciał?
are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they
Boy,
had them.
are you
They're
deaf or
gone.
something?
It
Why?
is eine Schande
White.
when outlaws have
I
better
apologise,
weapons
sir.
than the city garrison.
wine? Are you
and her
colourblind?
König
White.
surely knows this too.
No co jest? Czemu nie mogę polać?
You smell a deal?
What I smell is that you're stopping.
Co się
here.
dzieje?
Do not
O, jest.
realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The
Thank
Dry
you,
Devil
Razor.
is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down and
We do have the new bats in Hopring, and Adam's old ones, but I hear the
More wine,
Hopring bats
Master
are more
Bailiff.
of a pigsty.
They still are a bit, but the quality went downhill at that.
Co on chce?
What? Pray tell. I don't...
I'd like to learn something.
There's no time for it now.
Co nie to? To chyba on chciał coś.
Need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house.
No to jeszcze będę mógł sobie tutaj podróżować po tym zamku.
Yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Certainly, sir.
Come back with it straight away.
Okej.
The state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Chyba tutaj.
Isn't it the same thing?
Kielich. Ten?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not
Skradziony kubek, proszę bardzo.
the current baths in the city fall far
Use silver
short of
might be
covering
special.
all the citizens' needs.
You're right. We do have
So, did you find it?
Adam's old one.
I did, Master Bailiff.
Not so loud. And now go back to your...
Of course.
Quality went downhill at Adams, too.
What? To us. It's now run by the German Menhar. Who knows who that fellow is?
Refill, sir.
Do you think I come to the castle just to guzzle wine?
You act like
come
you've
here.
never been in a fight yourself. I threw.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while,
No dobra.
I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural.
Co?
Wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored. And because I told you. Get on with it.
Are you laughing at us all day long?
Co za typ?
So what if they have one more reason?
O,
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling
poważnie mam liczyć?
To count the winged
and no
figures.
one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people...
Ile ma skrzydeł? Raz,
If I threw out
2, 3,
there,
21. Dobra, powiedzmy, że 21. Który to był?
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 24, sir.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are, so you can have a bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
Since there's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, the...
Sir?
Thank you, waiter.
O! W końcu coś się dzieje, moi drodzy. Chyba Zygmunt przybywa.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Tak jest, przybył Zygmunt.
Azonal Gyurcsák össze! A legjobb katonaikat! És kelkinek útra!
No rzeczywiście jest rudy. O, i Marek z ulic. No, Henryk, polewaj. Nie wstydź się.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
O, jaki miły.
Like this plan of fights!
No dla nich już nie jest. Twierdza Radbusz? A, tutaj jest spotkanie zwolenników Wacława. Czyli teraz jesteśmy jako Boguta.
Life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part
O,
on entirely good terms 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older. And
czyli to jest rodzinny dom Boguty.
You spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed it.
You know what? Let's drop this. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in...
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone looks...
Or until you become a...
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life, wine, women, and...
O wszystko mam się pytać.
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but besides, he defended Kuttenberg. And you know how that... If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
O, dobra. Idziemy stąd.
Creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the...
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabble.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long...
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Okej, spotkaj się z Brabantem, poznaj rabina i jego eskortę. To jest rabin. A, i to jest Samuel.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greet...
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here.
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much, and we are both a little... I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred... And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here? Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time. And why would they not stare when you are frowning?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain...
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries at...
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very...
No i to prawda. Dogadaliby się.
You would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed and he was supposed to become a blacksmith. And instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every...
Wait. A blacksmith, you say? From Scarlet's?
Aye, that's right.
I knew of someone.
Marcin? Marcin to ten przyszywany ojciec Henryka.
My daughter knew him most. And that is why Samuel is in
O
this world.
kurde!
For our numerous...
Czyli Samuel jest synem Marcina, czyli teoretycznie jest jakby przyszywanym bratem Henryka.
Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for...
Jej, jakich ciekawych rzeczy można się tutaj dowiedzieć.
You should have taken care of me. but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's bloodfather denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
For that, there will be more.
Pijemy.
L'chaim.
Kurde, jaka informacja, moi drodzy. Henryk ma przyszywanego brata. Z kim jeszcze miałem porozmawiać? A, z Brabantem.
I'm glad you finally accept. What makes the Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Dobra, odejdź. O! Zaczyna się zebranie. Czart? Co tu czart robi?
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
Pieniążki ma rabin.
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Ej, ale głośno.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many?
I would have expected a bit more sense from you. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin.
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate.
Subtelna dyplomacja. Czyli chyba będziemy musieli z kimś walczyć. Coś tak podejrzewam.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
Oh.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. but he won't engage in equal force.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by event. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the...
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before you...
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all that?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly?
I'll give you 3 names.
Boczek z Kunsztatu. Ale imię.
Alda and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of...
Dobra.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over,
A wypijmy.
To our plans.
Aż kurde. Czy ja powinienem tyle pić? Bo to zaraz się upije i będzie problem. Dobra, mamy zadanie. Anna Waldstein, poparcie Hamana Aldera. A ta Anna mi się nie pokazała. Nie ma znacznika tej Anny, czyli muszę ją znaleźć. Może jest gdzieś tutaj. Anna. Może jest gdzieś na dole. A tu jest jakaś babka. O!
God be with you.
Bliziutko była.
There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources.
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions isn't... Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud.
Mądra kobieta.
That Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary...
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Who did you learn from? In my experience, women usually learn other...
I acquired the basics from my husband. God rest his soul. And the rest I learnt quickly, as soon as others started... So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein...
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigurd.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people...
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two... If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason.
Oczywiście, no.
Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of the guests here has...
O nie.
Shouldn't get into
Jeszcze muszę kraść.
Who's that?
Haman Alder.
Haman Alder, ja muszę z nim porozmawiać.
If you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support.
Dobra.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give...
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer... Bring them to me. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Okej. Czyli gdzieś tutaj na zewnątrz, tu są konie.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Milady, With all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words.
Thank you, noble lady.
Yes, quite. But let's drink.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Dobra, o kurde, Boguta to już tam ładnie upity jest trochę. Po tym znaczniku widać, po lewej stronie na dole. Dobra, kolejny.
Nobody has the likes of these.
O, to jest mój tatuś.
Bocek?
Not even Bocek, and he's a great...
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pa, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
Ale miły ten ojciec.
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you...
Jako posłaniec? Kłótnie na później? Dobra, przebyłem jako posłaniec.
From Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sasa. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole...
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If
Uuu,
you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
kto to jest?
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
O, oczywiście.
I'm not happy about it. But I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first...
Z bratem. To jest jego brat?
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter.
No dobra.
Honorable duel, man against... That was sneaky.
Left arm lower!
Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse!
You're fast.
No dawaj, braciszku, pokaż co potrafisz.
Who taught you that?
Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist!
Not bad for a
Wrong with
priest.
your legs!
Christ! Shit! Yeah. Did they teach you that in the seminary? Not bad for a priest. Hey, who taught you that?
You don't know which end of that...
I dziękuję.
My God, where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a...
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that.
So father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become...
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
Kurde, przyjemny ojciec.
He let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about...
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's...
After your encounter with Father... Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
No dobra.
You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back...
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to...
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know.
You're starting to...
Dobra, czyli on rozmawia z Alderem. On tutaj jest? O, Boczek jest.
Sir Boczek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over, Phil.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property,
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord bless me with a large... I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose...
Co mam mu
My
załatwić?
guarantee is called Yitka.
Judyta.
If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have
Czyli mamy znaleźć męża?
be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept.
Liechtenstein? Ptaszek? A weźmy ptaszka.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad...
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to...
Czyli porozmawiać z Hanuszem.
I'll be happy.
Ciekawe, czy Hanusz się zgodzi.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save...
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go...
Dobra, chodźmy do Hanusza. Widziałem go na dole.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Boczek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Boczek of Kunstadt? The Boczek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't... So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishop?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to...
No dobra, na zdrowie. Kurde, miałem nie pić.
And to your parleying skills.
Zaraz Boguta będzie cały pijany. Dobra, udało się. Ptaszek się żeni. Mamy kolejnego sojusznika.
Sir Boczek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservation.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of...
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Thank you, but I'd rather not drink.
Dobra. Spadek reputacji, no trudno.
Mark. Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion.
Kurde, Bogut już jest pijany.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Boczek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me.
Kolejne podejście.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
Jest rabin i jego pieniążki.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Oj, ptaszek chyba nie jest zadowolony. Kurde, ale może jest ładna kobieta, no.
Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. and our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
O, wracamy do Henryka.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to...
You've already said that. I want to hear
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismay? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter. From right, why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence...
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein. To do, the city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men.
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make...
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum-
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is... You were given a few simple... But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But, unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase my... I want clear results. And you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry.
Dobra, teraz jemu będę polewał.
I still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes.
Sire.
Between the two of us, Margaret, was I not perhaps too harsh on them?
Dobra.
And speak candidly.
There's been enough.
No nareszcie.
You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
Nie no. Muszę udawać, że jestem dobrym pachołkiem.
No, sire. It would be inappropriate for me to drink with you. I apologize.
As you wish. To your health, Margaret. And to our upcoming victory.
I wracamy do Radburza. O, już nowe zadanie. Dobra. Moi drodzy, to tutaj zakończę ten odcinek. Dajcie znać, jak wam się podobało. Nie zapomnijcie zasubskrybować, dać lajka i do zobaczenia w następnym materiale. Trzymajcie się, cześć!